Hi guys, this is Jen. I finally got a journal done. I'm much slower than a lot of people on here, and it takes me a while, but this is a journal that was made by request. Someone had seen one that I had done for Fiona Nobbin for a swap, a personal swap, and that's what they asked for, something similar to that. So the front of the book, I have lots of layers of music paper and book pages and some lace and some, just all kinds of things. This is a little card I made with a picture of a lady, and we have this pearl brad and then these little rosette things for the trim on the spine, and the back is kind of similar with just a different picture. There is a lot. This is so fat, and yeah, I had a little trouble getting it closed. Some of the embellishments, I guess, are a little big, and if she doesn't want the book this fat, some of those could be removed, but I just get kind of carried away when I get started, and I keep adding stuff, and pretty soon the book looks like this. Anyway, it's got one of those, oh, what do you call those things? The Tim Holtz clasp on it, the hitching post, and then there's an eyelet in the back that holds the seam binding on. So I'm going to go through this a little bit quickly because, yeah, we got we got a lot to cover here. The first page is just a really pretty image that she had liked on another book that I did, so I blew that up and used that for the first page. And down here I have a little crocheted flower, a little heart on a bulb pin, and some layers of lace, and there's some roses at the bottom. This page has like fabric and lace, and I've made a pocket out of that. Here's a couple tags that are stuck in down here. This is a heart made out of an old quilt piece. And this is kind of like a little envelope, but it also opens up and says, "Be as kind-hearted as you are beautiful, and we shall have nothing left to wish for." So, and then that just sticks down there and holds that closed. And these are just some tags with some pretty flowers on them. And the next page, we have this lovely lady with, again, doilies and all of that stuff. There is a small envelope here that I made. She liked the envelopes and asked for some of those. And inside, let's see, we just have a little stamp with perfume, and there's Bunny. That's why I opened this one, so everyone could see Bunny. He's very happy to see you and hopes you're all having a great day. So those little tiny things fit inside the little tiny envelope, and I put a paper clip on it so it would, stay in place and not slide all over the place. And then on this page, we have just some pretty images, flowers from Tsunami Rose. A lot of my images are from Tsunami Rose. Here's some fabric that I just bunched up down the seam. And here's a little tiny bauble with a picture of a flower in it, and I put glossy accents in there. Here is a picture of a couple on their wedding day. A lot of these pictures I bought a box of pictures off of eBay, and they were actual pictures of people, and I have used those. Here is an envelope. I'm not going to take it off. Underneath that is a napkin decoupaged on the book page. This is just, it's got paper and tags and stuff in it. Just a homemade envelope, and I did do decoupage tissue paper on that, and just tied some fabric on the paper clip. And this page, she also really likes the old pictures with the ladies with the fancy hats, and it says, "Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a new hat," and that's kind of the same thing. And these are just some really cool images. I think I got these from Tsunami Rose and put those in there. And back here behind the picture, I have a big pocket, and it also has tuck spots inside that hold some tags, and I really enjoyed making those altered playing cards, and that's actually what this one is. And then in the back I put a pocket so that there's a tag that slides in behind the picture. So I really had fun making those, and I did make quite a few of those for my journals. And here's another lovely lady with seam binding bunched up on the side. There's a tuck spot behind her picture and some tags in there. And this is a younger version of a girl with a hat and roses, and also tags tucked behind her picture. This page is my tea page, which some of you have already seen because I did a tutorial on making this teeny tiny journal out of a tea bag. So I've already done a journal or a tutorial on how I did that, and so that's just part of the journal that I just made, and I stuck it in here. It's kind of fat, and you know, it kind of makes the book a little bit bulky. Here's just a little pocket with a tag in it on the side. And this page is actually about gardening. And I have this little tiny envelope that I made off of that little template that I got from, I think, Deb Robinson. And it says, "Won't you come into my garden? I would like my roses to meet you." So that goes in this little envelope, and it's stuck up here with a paper clip. Then down here, I got some pictures out of an old photo album that a friend of mine gave me, that she had no idea who the pictures were. Apparently that family isn't around anymore or whatever. So I used some of the pictures of people actually gardening and put those in there. And then I kind of made this like a little door, and it's got a pocket on the outside. It says Secret Garden, and there's a sunflower and a key on a bulb pin, and in here are some actual seed packets that have Sweet William and Cosmos, which, you know, she could go ahead and plant those if she wants. And then it says Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow, with silver bells and cockle shells and marigolds all in a row. That came out of the Secret Garden book. So that's my garden page. And then here is my backdrop is falling down again. Here is a page that says follow your heart, it knows the way. Here's a little round trinket that I put a flower in and then covered that with glossy accents. There's lots of lace and trims and various things just for interest. Down here is a little tiny envelope. I don't actually remember what's inside here. Let's see here. It's just something all folded up, and it actually is a little heart made out of book paper, and that all just folds back inside there. You know, you can't get a lot in an envelope this size, but I just think they're really cute, so I like to make those. And in behind this page is another pocket, has a homemade envelope in it with papers and tags and stuff inside. And this page is a couple of couples that look like they are romantically involved. Here's a pretty hanky that I got at a thrift store, and I just put that here along with my pin that has one of those little flowers. It's a little rose, and I sewed it on the top of the pin, or the paper clip. And this page has some trim and a doily, and then you open it up, and in here is actually something. It's either a sonnet. I think it's by Lord Byron. It's a poem, and it's about a young couple in love, and it was kind of sweet, so I put that in there. I like books that have, I don't know, some kind of a meaning or quote or a poem or something to make it a little special. This page is kind of about love and weddings. There's a little heart or heart-shaped key. It says cherish a whole bunch of different times. Two sides of the same heart. Here's a little card that says cherish, and I decoupaged a little rose on the side. And this little lace down here is a pocket. And here's a little tag that just has a pretty flower on it. And then this picture is of, I don't know, it looks like two couples getting married at the same time because they both look like wedding gowns, but I suppose one could be the best man and the whatever. And some pretty trim up here. And behind this, again, is a pocket with a large space behind it. Have an envelope in there with stuff in it. And this page is a picture of mothers and children. And, you know, I have 3 children of my own. I absolutely love being a mother. And I miss the times when they were little. I do have a granddaughter now. But anyway, this says, a mother writes on the heart of her child what the world's rough hand cannot erase. And, you know, I think as long as you love your child and give them a strong sense of self-esteem, they're going to be fine. And then I took this little Tim Holtz thing and I decoupaged a little tiny purple flowers on there. And that fits down here in this little, it's a doily pocket. And there's decoupaged napkin on the back of that page. So then we have... this is a page of sonnets from Shakespeare, and I decoupaged napkin on that. And it says, in our golden years, he read me sonnets still. And there is a tuck spot down there at the bottom. And over here is a picture of an older couple, you know, just still being together after all those years. And up here is a little flip, and it says, marriage is easy. It's the next 40 or 50 years that are difficult. So anybody that stays together that long, I give them credit for that. And here's a picture of a little girl. And down at the bottom we have little flags that say, someday my prince will come. And over here is a picture of a little guy on a bike or a tricycle. And this prince embellishment I found, and it's got a little crown down here, and it's kind of thick, and that's also what's holding this together. And inside here is a little tiny heart, and you open that up, and let's see here, it says you and me. So there's a little envelope behind the little boy on the trike. It just makes a little secret spot. And let's see. This page has a picture of a young girl on it. I did some stenciling with that paste that makes it stick out, that texture paste. And it says, you will forever be my always. And this page has a picture of a little girl with wings on it. That's a Tsunami Rose picture. On the other page, there's a tag here, and it says, when she became a butterfly, the caterpillars spoke not of her beauty, but of her strangeness. They wanted her to change back into what she had always been, but she had wings. And on the other side of this is a decoupage of a butterfly. So I thought that quote was kind of cool. And there's some butterfly punch-outs on this page. I got those from Cindy McDermott. And this page is a little girl decoupaged on some fabric, and I made pockets underneath her out of the fabric. And this page has some lace on it, and you pull it up, and it says, let me play in the sunshine, let me dance in the rain, let me sing for joy, and remember the days of my childhood forever. I think I am running out of time on my video, so the last 2 pages We have this lady, tuck spots. The last page is this lady with tuck spots, and that's the end of the book. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Bye.